Hey, I'm Deanna.
I'm Madison.
I'm Kurt.
And I'm Connor.
And today we'll be teaching handstands.
Handstands fall under the FMP family of stationary positions and are considered to be a balance. The mechanical principles to be considered when doing a handstand are your center of gravity and the height of the center of gravity, your base of support and its size, the alignment of your segments, and finally ensuring that your segments are rigid. And now over to Kurt.
A great game that you can introduce to your students is what we like to call shipwreck. This game is going to help to engage their core, help teach them balance, how to keep rigid, and develop strength. This game of shipwreck follows the traditional rules where you'll label each wall with the different end or side of the ship, and when you call that side or end out, the students must run toward it. If the students go to the wrong side or perform the wrong action, they're going to have to do 5 push-ups to help increase their upper body strength. So the game of shipwreck is ideal for elementary students. Basically, you'll have the students running around, and you have certain phrases that you're going to call out, and they'll take certain positions. For example, if we call out man overboard, they'll take the V-sit position, like so, and this will help work on balance as well as core strength. Then, if I were to yell out meal time, they take the position of the crab walk. This is going to help with arm strength, stability, and core strength as well. The last one that you can call out is walk the plank, and the students will take the plank position. This again is working on balance, core strength, and endurance. And the last one is shark attack, where the students will raise one leg, and with their opposite arm, try to touch their toe. This again is working on core strength.
Okay, so we are going to quickly go through some of the progressions you can do with your students to make sure that they are strong enough in their upper body to work towards a handstand. So first we're going to do the bipod, which you're going to put your hands down on either side of your shoulders and then balance your legs. Balance your arms just like this, just like Kurt's doing. And then we would go into the tripod, kind of the same concepts, but we're going to put our head in there. So Madison's going to put both hands down and make a triangle with her head in her 2 hands, just like this, and then balance her legs on her arms. So the next progression will be the kick up. So what Madison's going to do is she's going to put her hands down and kick up with one foot and then go back. So this helps to get the kids with transitioning from the feet to the hands and progressing to a handstand.
So the next progression to the handstand is using a wall for support, just so students can get used to going up into the handstand without putting all the weight onto their arms and neck yet. So the first one is the walk up. He's going to put his hands down like he did and just walk his feet up to the wall. And then to safely get out of that, he's going to turn his body and land on 2 feet, just like he did there. Using a cartwheel to get up into the handstand. So you just put one hand is next and cartwheel up onto the wall, and then hold it for as long as you can and safely get out by taking a step with your hand and landing with 2 feet.
So now we're going to look at the prevailing body actions involved in a handstand and the handstand itself. So first you're going to start with a flexion of the shoulders. Then you're going to take a step forward and you're going to have flexion of the hip and knees. Then you're going to move into the next steps, which are hip flexion, shoulder extension, wrist hyperextension, and the last step being shoulder flexion, hip extension, knee extension, and plantar flexion, as we'll see here.
Common errors that we find when students are doing handstands that we need to be careful for.
So So clearly our friend Kurt here had an epic fail of a handstand. His body wasn't rigid, his abs weren't really engaged. He needed to have a little bit more strength in his upper body.
But one of Dee's attempts was no better, as she used way too much force while trying to get into the handstand and almost flipped right over.
But I did practice safe exiting. Yeah. No.
So next time when they both try, they need to make sure that their bodies are rigid, their arms are fully extended, their legs are straight, and their core is engaged.
And we need to make sure that we don't use too much force going into the handstand or you'll just tip right over.
And that sums up our video.
Thanks for listening.
And now go try handstands.
Woo!
Handstanding.
That's hands.